Nothing like a vacation to re-energize you. I feel like I could tackle anything the bad musical world could throw at me. Come on, what's next on the case list? Hit me! Allow me to rephrase that. I could tackle anything the bad musical world could throw at me except Pokémon Live. Why not? Seriously? In the first place, Pokémon has never been my thing, and I only have the roughest outline of the concept and characters to go on. Second, while the most well-known recorded footage isn't exactly a bootleg, it's nearly the same in terms of quality. And I'm not sure what can be said about a musical based on a franchise that is basically dogfighting with adorable anime creatures. Why did the Underlords send me this? Yes, I'm well aware that live-action Pikachu movie comes out this month, but since when has this series ever done corporate synergy? Be honest, this is my punishment for taking a month off, isn't it? Still, worth it. So yeah, this is a touring production that entertained kiddies in 2000 and 2001, and is more or less based on the television series which was having its heyday at the time. It's pretty similar to a lot of kids' media tie-in live shows, with a couple notable exceptions. First, it actually has something of a plot and character development going on. Second, it has been preserved for posterity thanks to one Chris Mitchell, who was the production stage manager on the tour and provided the video and script for public consumption. Third, it features Andrew Rannells, of all people, as the character James, a role that he considers so embarrassing that being in a porno or snuff film would have been preferable. Let's examine the case of Pokémon Live and see if he's right. The story begins with the announcement of a competition for a one-of-a-kind diamond badge, which can only be earned by defeating its mysterious owner in ritual Pokémon combat. As one does. This is, of course, the sort of thing that gets the attention of our protagonist Ash, who begs off on an outing with his mom Delia and their friend Professor Oak to go on the hunt.
It is not every day a world-renowned Pokémon expert personally invites us to his lecture on sleep disorders among the Snorlax!
Yeah, this is definitely the kind of thing you're not going to be interested in if you're not 100% invested in Pokémon already. Delia is not entirely comfortable with her son's Pokémon catching career, mainly because it keeps bringing him into contact with the villainous Team Rocket, with which she has a vaguely foreshadowed connection. But still, she leaves Ash to his devices, which mainly involve dorky dancing.
I will travel across the land, searching far and wide, each Pokemon to understand.
Fortunately, this case of terminal whiteness is interrupted by Ash's friends Misty and Brock. Misty is rather shirty about Ash's intention to go after the diamond badge with his oversized Pikachu since he forgot about her birthday. For the past 2 weeks. But Ash is determined to do this not only for himself but his Pokémon servants, which he rhapsodizes about in Sin Number 1, You and Me and Pokémon.
Cross every river, behind every tree, on top of every mountain, they're a part of you and me.
This sounds like a rejected song from The Lion King. Speaking of which, there's a sub-Circle of Life parade, which is right about where this show goes from not my thing to not my thing, but also hilariously bad.
Golduck! Auto Trio!
How many Pokémon are there again? Oh, sweet Lucifer, this is going to take forever. But at last it ends, and we switch over to the nefarious doings of Team Rocket lackeys Jessie and James and their snarky cat Pokémon thing Meowth. So far, nefarious doings involves a lot of fourth wall breaking.
You know, these Milwaukee fans are pretty wimpy!
The kids in New York yelled a whole lot louder.
After that painful cover for a scene change, we get some exposition from Team Rocket boss Giovanni. It seems he's created a robotic Pokémon called Mecha Mewtwo, which can absorb and learn any attack that gets thrown at it. The ultimate goal being, what else? World domination.
Let the universe prepare, good Pokémon beware, you fools shall not deny me.
I'll give the bad guys some credit. They know exactly what kind of show they're in and are refusing to take it seriously. Giovanni orders his minions to nab him a Pikachu so his new toy can learn some electric abilities, and James and Jessie set out to do their dirty work. By which I mean dated for the parents' jokes and even more dated musical stylings.
The world from dead states
To unite all peoples within our nation.
to denounce the evils of truth.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
That's it. I hereby declare a moratorium on all rap breaks in children's media. Unless they're written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and even he's skating on thin ice.
Open up your eyes, gonna show you where it's at as we take a look around at a new habitat.
After a short sequence of Mecha Mewtwo learning abilities from various puppets, we cut back to the heroes. Brock is flirting with random girls, Ash is obsessed with the diamond badge thing, and Misty thinks he needs to chill. I'm just going to assume these are their basic character traits from the series. It ends with Brock getting slapped a lot and a random friendship song. Yeah, not much to say about this one. It's a generic bestest buddies forever thing with random record scratches. Moving on. James and Jessie, but mostly Jessie, are setting up a Pikachu trap straight out of the Wile E. Coyote playbook.
I gotta hand it to yous guys. This might actually work.
Only if your quarry is Elmer Fudd. As it is, things go in a very predictable manner.
Oh, I see the problem. We forgot to pull out the support stick. Look at this.
No!
Don't!
Meanwhile... Well, that was Monty Python levels of random right there. Anyway, Professor Oak and Delia arrive at what he claims is the lecture hall address, but looks more like the place you'd find an illegal cockfighting ring. Or whatever the equivalent of illegal cockfighting is in a society built around getting small animals to fight each other. Illegal soccer matches, perhaps? Delia is having a midlife crisis about how Ash is growing up, and she's not ready for him to stop being her little boy, which is honestly weightier than I expected from the kind of show that sells overpriced snow cones and souvenir mugs.
Not my little boy anymore. He's changing into something else or someone else.
He's becoming a man.
Oh, I don't want him to. Not yet. I'm not ready for that.
Unfortunately, this is followed up by sin number 3, everything changes.
Everything changes. Things are changing constantly.
Every so often, you come across a moment in a musical where you get a greater impact if people don't sing. Pierre's declaration in Great Comet, the first debate scene in 1776, and as it happens, this one. Throwing in a pseudo-inspirational piece with random dancers and more Pokémon name-dropping cheapens what was turning out to be a surprisingly moving scene. Fortunately, Giovanni enters to be evil all over the place. Turns out the lecture invitation was a trap to get renowned Pokémon expert Professor Oak in his clutches because, Oh yeah, there's this bit with Delia, too.
Oh, good to see you again. You look lovely. Leave her alone!
So, Giovanni used to date Ash's mom? And he still has a thing for her? Look, I have no idea how this does or doesn't fit into the overall Pokemon mythos. There's an entire section of the internet devoted to sorting out this sort of thing. Go ask it for opinions. Elsewhere, Ash and his friends have been going around in circles because Brock lost the map while he was flirting with the ensemble players. Fortunately, they encounter another trainer with a map. Unfortunately, said trainer only speaks in sign language. Fortunately, Brock is fluent in ASL because... The point is, the deaf trainer agrees to share his map if Ash does battle with him, because that's how things get done around here.
I choose J.P. Pink Round. J.P. Pink Round. J.P. Hey, I choose Jigglypuff!
No!
That's bad, then?
I'm fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing.
Okay, it is bad because Jigglypuff sings its opponents to sleep and then draws all over their faces. It's basically the world's worst slumber party guest. But at least Misty gets to sing a tender ballad about her unrequited love for Ash as a result.
Why should anything so easy ever be so hard to do?
This is the point when the Rugrats in the audience start squirming and asking when they can go get a popcorn refill. Anyway, more awkward ship teasing ensues, and it turns out Deaf Trainer was a good sport and left his map for the others to find, so off our heroes go.
Oh, there it is!
Pika! Pika, Pika!
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I would have found it.
Anyway, the conversation turns to which Pokemon Ash will use to battle for the Diamond Badge, and in case that wasn't completely obvious, we get sin number 4, Pikachu.
Pikachu! You know there is no other. I choose you.
This is basically the saddest Gloria Estefan song in existence. And by the way, if you think Andrew Rannells has it bad, how embarrassing does it have to be for the person in the Pikachu costume? You're on stage most of the time, but all you get to do is stand around and occasionally bounce a little bit or shuffle your feet in an attempt to dance. It's not exactly Warhorse, you know? James and Jessie, having been unhoisted from their own petard, intrude on the dance break to nab Pikachu, and despite being stymied by random dancers and Pikachu puppets, they are eventually successful in that endeavor.
Guys, I can't find Pikachu anywhere.
There's 5 of them behind you. What are you talking about? Anyway, that's a good time for... Act 2 opens with Dexter the Pokedex, or a human version thereof, I guess, regaling the audience with sin number 5, what kind of Pokemon are you?
Pokemon Masters in the house, come on, let's raise the roof. Kick your normal type like Jigglypuff against the ghostly Gengar, the battle's real tough.
Hey, what did I say about rap breaks? There's also some BuzzFeed-type quizzing of kids in the audience, which is about as awkward as you'd expect.
Is your dad a Snorlax or a Ghastly?
Snorlax!
Snorlax, lots of that going around.
Back at the actual plot, Ash figures Team Rocket has nabbed Pikachu, because really they're the only viable suspects at this point, but Misty suggests there might be other possibilities.
You have a habit of ignoring your friends. Maybe Pikachu just got tired of it. Or maybe you missed his birthday too.
I have to say, this whole Misty's birthday thing isn't really doing it for me as far as her motivation goes. If Ash really is that much of an oblivious dick, then what does she see in him in the first place? Her suggestions seem to fall on deaf ears, but after running around the stage fails to produce Pikachu, Ash wonders if his friend has really gone on and sings a tender ballad for his favorite Electro Rabbit Mouse.
We've gone so far and done so much, and I feel like we've always been together.
Parents, now would be a good time to take the kids to the bathroom if they were telling you they didn't need to go at intermission. So after... Help me out, people. Is this a running gag from the series? Kind of the equivalent of the bathing suit guy in the Dover Boys cartoon? Anyway, we turn to Delia and Professor Oak caged up at Team Rocket headquarters, where Delia passes time by explaining her backstory with Giovanni.
As a teenager, I fell in with a bad crowd, and there was this one boy. He started a gang that eventually became Team Rocket.
The boy was Giovanni?
Apparently the original draft of the script went farther than this, revealing that Giovanni is Ash's biological father, and there's still some subtext to that effect. Make of that what you will. Giovanni is a little hurt that Delia has well and truly turned her back on the evil thing, but he has gloating to do.
One head, ruling the planet each day, is mine to run.
I gotta admit, I kinda like Giovanni. Sure, he's as cliche a villain as you can get without actually giving him a mustache to twirl, but even more damned if he isn't rocking it. And while I'm a little fuzzy on how this whole global domination through Pokemon training thing is supposed to work, giant powerful robots are a staple of rule-the-world plots, so I can roll with it. James and Jessie literally sashay on stage with the yellow shock rodent in tow, and Giovanni orders them to use Pikachu to attack Mecha Mewtwo. because he can't do Pokemon battle against himself, and I don't know how the rules on this go. I'm just here for the ride. Again, this doesn't end well for the hench duo. The electricity opens the cages, somehow, and Delia and Professor Oak escape as Giovanni realizes he needs Pikachu's trainer to tell Pikachu what to do. Which seems obvious even to me, but whatever. Jessie and James are dispatched to go get Ash. And because nobody asked for it, we get a Brock solo.
Oh, Billy, if loving you's a crime, then sentence me now, and I'll do my time.
This song, Two Perfect Girls, doesn't really add anything other than a justification for Brock's rampant infidelity. Weird how that gets a pass and there are still parents flipping their shit over same-sex couples.
Come on, woman, man's what I want to be, but there's two perfect girls.
No, don't do that.
Misty is at least as annoyed with this as I am.
Boys, either you're off chasing every girl you see, or you're ignoring us to spend time with your Pokémon.
Well, there's a euphemism you don't hear every day. Brock and Misty go off, Delia and Oak come on. I swear this is starting to look like a particularly weird production of Into the Woods. Delia is worried about Ash getting hurt or finding out the truth of her past, more or less in that order, proving once again that her arc is the most interesting one in the show. And she angsts about that, while Misty angsts about her unrequited crush, and Ash angsts about being Pikachu-less, and once again, this is getting surprisingly weighty for a cartoon tie-in show.
Every darkness has its dawn. Tears can't fall forever, so now I must move on.
Having all turned up in the same clearing to sing a power ballad, Delia reveals Pikachu's whereabouts at Camp Team Rocket, and also her history with the villains. Ash takes this about as well as you'd expect, but then Jessie and James come in. On scooters for some reason.
We're taking you to Giovanni and Pikachu.
Whether you like it or not.
I like it.
You do?
Ooh, he does.
Why is this being so easy?
Look, just take the W on this one, you two. Based on the evidence I've seen, you're not going to get many of them that are this easy. Ash goes with them, leaving Delia to sing an angsty reprise.
Exactly.
Hey, it really is the swimsuit guy from the Dover Boys. Ash arrives at Giovanni's lair to find the villain monologuing to Mecha Mewtwo, because this kind of cliched evil behavior doesn't just happen. You have to practice it diligently. They trade the usual formalities. Leave my mother out of this! Behold, my greatest creation! Giovanni lets Ash hold the diamond badge, figuring that's as close as he'll ever get to it, and they finally get down to battle. Ash and Pikachu get their asses handed to them, but Giovanni didn't count on Ash's mad song and dance skills.
Oh no, you just can't win.
You're not that strong.
Time to pay for your sin.
You got it all wrong.
Look alive, girls, it's been a long time since we've had a good song fight.
Having gotten the electric attack knowledge he needs, Giovanni orders Mecha Mewtwo to destroy Ash, but Ash is suddenly protected by a force field. How do we know this?
Hey, it's a force field. Hyper Beam can't penetrate it.
What's going on?
The boy will not be harmed.
Who said that?
I did.
You too?
Hey, no fair Deus Ex Pokemoning your way out of this. Mewtwo spams its robotic counterpart with something that's happening on the view screen we can't see from this angle, and Mega Mewtwo turns on its master. Giovanni, committed to his branding to the end, goes into "You must obey me" mode. Dude, if you'd watched The Incredibles, you'd have known how this would turn out.
From the boy, I've learned about love and goodness. His heart is pure. His love for Pokémon and his friends and family is real. I've learned right from wrong. And I've learned which one you are.
Having learned the moral of the story, Mecha Mewtwo sets itself to self-destruct. Pikachu and Mewtwo take the unconscious Ash away, and Giovanni manages to exit stage right before his creation goes all splody. Too bad he doesn't get in an "I'll get you next time!" Ash wakes up surrounded by friends and family with no idea of what happened, but he has the diamond badge, so he figures it's a win. And he gives the badge to Misty as a birthday present, even though she didn't show any interest in it, and he pretty much ignored her in his pursuit of it, and whatever, happy group finale time.
One world, now and forever, best friends, loyal and true.
Pokémon Live is bad, but it's bad in the way nearly every other show of its type is bad. You don't go to something like this expecting Broadway. You go because your kids are interested in Pokémon and hopefully it'll entertain them for 90 minutes. And it actually does try to add some nuance and interesting character development, and even occasionally succeeds at it. Still, the whole concept of the franchise weirds me out, so the Court of Musical Hell condemns the Pokémon-verse to be liberated by the girl from the Radioactive video. So let it be recorded.
It's bonus objective time! I asked for a musical adaptation you'd like me to cover, and most of the votes went to Pokémon Live. This is the first Pokémon-related video I've done in years, and it's for a stage musical. Of course, with how ShowPro handles their licensed properties, it's hard to review the anime or movies without getting a copyright strike, but I don't think they can touch this one, since this one's American-made, courtesy of 4Kids. Yeah, we got 4Kids to thank for this. Then president of 4Kids Productions, Norman J. Grossfeld, wanted to tap into something the franchise hadn't done at the time, which was stage shows. It made sense because Pokemon was making a lot of money in other mediums, so why not the stage too?
Pokemon's been #1 in every medium that it's been introduced, so including the video games, #1 video game of all time, #1 kids television show around the world, #1 movie that's been released. So we know there's a demand out there for all types of entertainment related to Pokemon.
4Kids also worked with Radio City Entertainment and Nintendo for this, and the musical ran from September 2000 to January 2001. It even did some international shows later and planned for a home video release, but the latter fell through. For this review, I'll be mostly using a fan restoration video by Benjamin Delbert, released in 2020. It uses footage from an old upload by Chris Mitchell, who served as the show's production stage manager. There's also an upload from a run in Dubai that trims down some parts and has more close-ups, but it's the American run I'll be focusing on today. This seems like the safest way to cover anything Pokemon related these days, so let's see how Pokemon Live holds up. We kick off with some viewer discretion stuff.
At this time, please turn off all cell phones and pagers. Please note that the use of flash photography, video, and audio recording devices is strictly prohibited, and that smoking is not permitted anywhere in the building.
It wouldn't have looked good anyway. Maybe you should release it on home video, just in case. And things kick off by playing the second opening of the 4Kids dub, even projecting footage on the curtain, which looks to be a mix of the first 3 openings showing the Orange Island League and a small snippet of the Johto season. Let's see how many of these characters actually show up in this thing. Hey, wait a second. Japanese text? That might have been improvised, because remember, this is a fan restoration. The original upload had it barely visible and off to the side, so showing it as is was undoable. I imagine that's how they did stuff for the home release of the TMNT musicals. Speaking of, the fan edit was able to get the projected footage of Giovanni, played by Darren Dunstan, who's advertising the Diamond Badge, which was never a thing since, surprise, the musical is not canon to either the anime or the games. And how do you get this badge?
If so, check out our website at www.diamondbadge.com and download a copy of the map to where the battles are to take place.
The site was real, but has since gone defunct. After that, we have Ash, played by Dominic Nolfi, waking up to his mother and Professor Oak, played by Dee Rossioli and Patrick Frankfort, respectively. They're nagging him about something.
I told you we don't have much time.
And I told you I don't want to go! You're passing up a rare opportunity, my boy!
My boy!
It's not every day a world-renowned Pokémon expert personally invites us to his lecture on sleep disorders among the Snorlax!
That would be kind of funny, based on the fact that Ash has a Snorlax at this point. I imagine this takes place after the Orange Island League, and just before Johto. There was that break between it and Johto, which had Brock come back, because he broke up with Professor Ivy, or whatever the hell he doesn't talk about.
It'll be fun, Ash.
You guys go, I'll be fine. Just don't bring my mom home too late.
Ash, I'm not, we're not, I haven't, we haven't.
Yeah, a lot of romantic overtones in this show.
I really want us to do things together the way we used to. I miss that.
Mom, I'm not a baby anymore. I'm a Pokemon trainer.
Also, if you thought Ash was unbearable in the show, well, he's even worse here. And I say this as someone who thought he was okay and got better as the anime went along. Once the adults are gone, he turns on the radio and dances to the dub's first opening.
Pokemon to understand the power that's inside.
Hey, everybody! Come on, let's do the idiot!
Ash, you hold
Misty! Brock!
Oh, they got him dancing in his shorts. Misty is played by Heidi Waymuller, and Brock by Dennis Kenny.
With your workout?
Did you see the commercial for that new Pokemon badge?
Oh, the diamond badge! I sure did.
And like many performances, it's pretty cringe. But this live show does bring in the real talent. Sweet, sweet sounds. Obviously, none of the Pokemon are gonna be like how they are in the show, though I find it funny that Pikachu was under the bed. And with those special effects, I thought Pikachu was farting out lightning.
You're gonna eat lightning, and you're gonna crap thunder.
Anyway, Ash wants to win the Diamond Badge, while Misty wants to go to the movies for her birthday, which was a while ago, and Ash keeps forgetting. He sings a song about how important it is for him and his Pokemon to get the badge.
one world, now and forever, best friends, loyal and true, one dream.
Okay, but you still need to tend to your human friends too. After all, they helped you get this far. Wait, why is this bit with Richie mirrored? Maybe it's to get past the copyright. Still, the show really nails how people loving Pokemon is a major factor in the series proper. Speaking of, here come the props. Was that intentional? Okay, everyone off stage. It's time for the next scene.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
Meow, that's right.
Hello, New York!
Ah, crap, they're breaking the fourth wall. Do their evil no bounds? Jessie is played by Lauren Kling, while James is played by Andrew Reynolds. Meowth's suit actor is Kathleen Roche, but is voiced by his first English dub voice actor, Monty Blostein, before her passing in 2008. May she rest in peace. They're here to ask the audience for help in their shenanigans.
Who are we?
These New York fans are pretty wimpy.
The kids in Cleveland yelled a whole lot louder.
Anyway, Meowth says that the boss wants to see them, so they visit Giovanni. He has his own song number, which even references what he was doing during the first movie. It's kinda glorious.
It will all be mine, how it's so divine, I'll tell the sun to shine, I'll only me.
He also mentions how he's been building Mecha Mewtwo, which is one word by the way. We'll see more of it later, but otherwise the trio show up to get their assignment. Capture Ash's Pikachu because it'll help Mecha Mewtwo learn and copy every type of move. And some trainers show up wanting to battle Giovanni. We get an obscure glimpse at Mecha Mewtwo, so the only thing to go on is how this new Pokemon trounces the opponent.
Alakazam, side beam attack now! Mecha Mewtwo, play! What was that? Mecha Mewtwo, side beam attack now! Alakazam! Arrivederci!
I think it's worth mentioning that both Darren and Andrew went on to become voice actors for 4Kids. Because yeah, Giovanni is very much sounding like Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh! Then there are more trainer battles, including against one who has an electrode that self-destructs. Maybe that will come into play later? Meanwhile, Ash and crew get lost in a forest while heading to face Giovanni. Brock gets horny for some girls while Misty argues with Ash over how he got his badges.
I know it's totally cool, and I know there's only one of them.
So it's going to be really hard to win. Not like the badges Brock and I gave you.
That's fair, because other Season 1 gym battles had a similar result. Brock gets triple rejected and seems to like it, leading to a pretty decent cover of My Best Friends. After that, we get Team Rocket setting up a pit trap. They're definitely hamming it up, and I'll admit to getting a kick out of their performances.
And when Pikachu and his friends come by, they step onto the mat and... Oh!
He sounds like a mix of both Morty and Harley in the dub. Anyway, despite our heroes walking over the trap, it doesn't seem to work, because they forgot to remove the support stick.
Knuckleheads!
Okay, must be a transition to the next scene, where Oak and Delia are about to attend Professor Zalron's lecture on Snorlax. But it's looking like a scam since no one's here.
It all started with the Pokémon when he turned 10 and became a trainer. Now, he doesn't let me kiss him goodbye. He never wants to do things as a family.
Yeah, it is kind of messed up letting 10-year-olds go out into the world with only Pokémon to fight other Pokémon. Can really change a person. Then there's this song about change and how it relates to Pokemon evolutions. I guess if everything changes, you gotta roll with it. Anyway, here comes Giovanni, revealing that this was all a trap to bring them here, and...
Maybe you're not that smart after all.
Well, I'm smart enough to know when my
Let's get out of here!
Delia? How good to see you again. You look lovely.
Oh boy, here comes the diamond shipping. For those not in the know, that's a fan theory concerning a past romance between Delia and Giovanni. Never mind how other sources contradicted that idea, though this also feeds into another idea about Giovanni being Ash's father. I get why this backstory was added though, since Giovanni wasn't exactly fleshed out as a character before the games and anime corrected for that. However, like the rest of this musical, what he says about himself may or may not mix well with canon. Anyway, he wants to show them Mecha Mewtwo before singing a short reprisal of the earlier song. Speaking of heroes, they're still lost, and Brock reveals that he threw away the map, because he couldn't ask a girl for directions otherwise.
He threw away the map! Chill, Misty, just chill. Chill, yeah!
Chill, kill, pretty much the same thing. They run into a trainer who happens to be deaf. Brock tries to communicate with sign language, so he can redeem himself here?
You've helped enough already! Fine! Doesn't look like either of you know sign language.
I don't remember him being like this in the anime. Except the horny stuff, that's in line with him. The deaf trainer says that he'll share his map, but only if he faces Ash in a battle. And what is he using?
JP Pink Round, JP Pink Round, I choose Jigglypuff.
No, Brock!
Not sure I like that Jigglypuff has human legs. Also, is that a microphone marker? Is that the recurring Jigglypuff from the anime? Well, there are clips showing what happens next, but it doesn't translate into the musical since she and the trainer walk off after our heroes fall asleep. Then Misty wakes up, says that Ash got drawn on, and... And now we get to Poke shipping. In musical form. The anime has always attempted to ship Ash with his female companions, though they tend to be platonic for the most part. It's not out of the question that Misty would have feelings for Ash, but I don't think it would have been quite on the level that the musical suggests.
Can't you say yeah, I love you.
Also worth noting that she and Ash would be like 11 at this point. They're pretty damn young to be having this kind of relationship. Oh, and Mew floats around during this song. Guess it's wondering why there's a love song for this franchise. Still, this is probably the best use of the Pokemon props given how they float around the vacuum of space or whatever. Anyway, Ash wakes up and admits to having a dream of what just happened. So he's clueless, but the Death Trainer left him the map, so our heroes can now head out. Over the Team Rocket, Meowth returns with the rope needed to save his partners, who also fell asleep from Jigglypuff. He gets so mad that he breaks the fourth wall while venting in front of the audience.
Why are you telling everyone we're losers?
Because you are? Look up loser in the dictionary and you'll find a big picture of the two of you.
Oh, Meowth, you are just full of sass today. Team Rocket sings a song about how bad they are at their jobs. Props for self-awareness, I guess. Then back over to our heroes, they make it to the city, but not before Misty asks an obvious question. Which Pokemon will Ash use to fight?
The choice is obvious. Pikachu, you know that you're the one, so I choose you.
And yes, this is another cover to a song in the dub. Also, who are those dancers supposed to be? Just random trainers that happen to be in the area? This sequence confuses me, because after Ash just leaves Pikachu alone during the dance, Team Rocket shows up attempting to steal it, only to be stopped by the backup dancers. Then more Pikachu show up. Like, what is going on? And I guess Ash doesn't see the giant Magikarp sub that Team Rocket likes to use, or even them hoisting Pikachu above them and kidnapping him. You'd think Pikachu would just use Thunderbolt, if only on instinct.
I choose you! Guys, I can't find Pikachu anywhere!
Look in front of you! Oh wait, you mean your Pikachu. Yeah, he got carried off under your nose. Well, Ash thinks Team Rocket took him, which is true, and Misty thinks that Pikachu just chose to abandon his trainer? Why? Well, the musical needs an excuse to cover that one song from Pikachu's Goodbye, where Ash thought Pikachu wanted to be with its own kind.
The time has come. It's for the best I know it.
Still kinda insensitive to even attempt to do that kind of plot this late in canon. Why do you even exist? Oh yeah, we have Professor Oak and Delia trying to escape their cages.
Professor, are you alright?
Maybe I should have kept up my lessons.
If only you had that Mew that you had in Pokemon Masters. Delia tells Oak of her past relationship to Giovanni. Speaking of, he shows up, flirts with Delia a little bit before showing them
Mecha Mewtwo!
There's no such Pokemon!
I know. It's mechanical.
So are many other Pokemon. You're not so special, Giovanni. Since we still don't have a good look at the thing, here are some pictures. It does look pretty cool with the Predator-like head. It even got its own collectible card. And Giovanni reveals his plan to teach Mecha Mewtwo every move that ever existed.
The only attacks left to be learned are electric. One little electric Pokemon is all that stands between me and world domination.
But you already fought Electrode. Isn't that... Oh wait, it blew up, which isn't electric. Then he sings an evil version of You and Me and Pokemon.
You live to serve your master. My reign has just begun.
Team Rocket also shows up with Pikachu before singing a cover of Double Trouble. Giovanni asks them to get it to attack Mecha Mewtwo, but the obvious happens.
Let's go!
We should try and save Pikachu.
But there's no time, we've got to get Ash!
Of course, Pikachu is left behind. Can't get away with its own speed. Now the trio is told to go kidnap Ash since he's the only one who can control Pikachu. Meanwhile, Brock and Misty are looking for Pikachu, and he learns that she has a thing for Ash.
You think he's the only one for you?
Oh, cut it out, Brock. You're the horniest one in the group. Speaking of, guess what song he's gonna do?
Jenny, oh Jenny, woo! Joy, oh joy, a one-woman band's what I want to be, perfect girls for me.
At least Jenny and Joy got to appear in this musical. Kinda hoped that Tracy was here too. Oh sure, he's bland, but at least he wasn't hitting on every girl he saw. Not that I hate Brock, but that specific part of his character got old really fast.
Boys, either you're off chasing after every girl you see or you're ignoring us to spend time with your Pokémon.
Hey, you love Pokemon too. Don't drag them into this. Misty and Brock leave right as Delia and Oak show up looking for Ash. They don't believe that Ash gave up Pikachu, but Delia is worried about how her son will see her once he knows of her past with Giovanni.
What happened long ago? The truth about my past is something he should never know.
Oh hey Delia, you looking for Ash too? Yeah, but I feel like singing. May I join? Of course. Seriously, why is Misty here? This song is a better fit for Delia and her current dilemma. And those two haven't even bumped into each other yet, given what happens. And I guess Ash is gonna chase his dreams without Pikachu. What is even this song anymore?
Mom? Professor Oak? What are you doing here?
You were singing together! They finally realized that Pikachu was taken by Team Rocket. But before Ash can leave, Delia sits him down and reveals her past friendship with Giovanni. I'm sure he understands that that was all in the rear view mirror.
No way!
Oh, it wasn't for long. When I met your father, I left.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I wanted you to hear it from me and not from Giovanni.
Let's get out of here.
Seriously, why is Ash so unlikable in this musical? Anyway, Team Rocket show up on scooters, and Ash demands being taken to Giovanni.
We're taking you to Giovanni and Pikachu!
Whether you like it or not!
I like it!
You do?
Ooh, he does.
They really captured James's penchant for being feminine, like in the show. Delia then sings about how much change makes her sad, and Psyducks come to take her away because it's time for a new scene. Giovanni is talking about how he's going to help Mecha Mewtwo learn every move, which will help him rule the world. Ash shows up, ready to do battle, while Jesse and James act like adorkable idiots.
Hey, rocket scientists!
You're here! He's here!
It looks like we did good, boss!
Ash reunites with Pikachu and Giovanni brings out his Mecha Mewtwo. Ash foolishly tells Pikachu to attack, but it does nothing, while Giovanni just uses
Mecha Mewtwo, learn!
That's not a Pokemon move, you silly musical.
Try Thundershock again! Come on, buddy, you can do it!
My turn!
Ash, I know you're a dumbass at times, but this is the dumbest you've ever been. Then we get a song between Ash and Giovanni, which is kind of fun.
Oh no! You just can't win. You're not that strong. Time to pay for your sin.
But at the same time, I'm just thinking of that one scene from Guardians of the Galaxy.
What are you doing?
Dance off, bro!
Anyway, Giovanni is done with this and orders Mecha Mewtwo to attack with Hyper Beam. But Ash is then protected by a force field that came from...
The boy will not be harmed.
Mewtwo? Mewtwo?
You do not know me, Ash Ketchum, but I know you.
Because you erased his memory of the events from the first movie. Mewtwo then battles Mecha Mewtwo, and although Ash is afraid of what might happen, Mewtwo is confident because...
I think the true power is within you.
Mecha Mewtwo, learn!
So Mewtwo floods Mecha Mewtwo's mind with all the love and compassion Ash showed to his friends in Pokemon, causing the latter to talk for the first time.
I didn't give you the power of speech.
But you did give me the ability to learn, and I have. From the boy, I've learned about love and goodness.
This would mean a lot more if Ash treated his mom better, and it's kind of implied that he was mistreating her given one of the last images we saw. Knowing that Giovanni is bad, Mecha Mewtwo decides to take him out with self-destruct. It orders Mewtwo to bring Ash and Pikachu to safety while locking down Giovanni until...
Don't do this! We can be partners!
Oh, never mind. He's fine. Ash and Pikachu are then found by his mother and friends. Since Ash was memory wiped, he seems to have learned his lesson about mistreating his mother. He then remembers Giovanni giving him the diamond badge and decides to give it to Misty.
Think of it as a birthday present. Besides, We'll always be doing everything together, right?
Right.
At least until Hoenn, where you get dumped for May. Then it's one last song, which would be reused in the credits of the 5th movie. Well, hot damn, that was quite something. I can't really say I dislike this, even if it treats some of the cast differently from the source material. The actors look to be having fun, and hell, 2 of them went on to do dubbing for the anime. I wished there was a proper home release, so I could better comment on the sets and props. All I can really say is that the sets felt bare at times, but the Pokemon themselves were fine, especially when it just wasn't people in suits. I also enjoyed the song covers, but the original songs were either incredibly corny or downright awkward. The same could be said of the story. I could see a scenario where Ash and friends face Giovanni as he attempts to conquer the world with a powerful man-made Pokemon, but the execution is questionable given the romance subplot and some cringy characters that weren't like that in the anime. But the musical drew a ton of fans, so mission accomplished there. Critics received it negatively, and noted how Pokemon fans can get something out of it, and I agree. It was a product of its time and made for fans of the franchise, especially the younger ones. It could have been a lot better, but I otherwise respect the attempt at trying something different.